Hey everybody. Today's episode is going to be a bit different. The format is going to be essentially the same, but I've got a couple of little tweaks in here that make this episode special to me. Also, today's episode turned out extremely bleak. That was not an intended design. That's not what I started off trying to make. It just so happened to end up being that way. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. Before we get started, I wanted to make a plea to everyone. For those of you who have been with me since the beginning and seen pretty much every episode, you may have noticed that I have never, not once, ran a paid advertisement on this channel. I have many reasons for not doing that, even though I get daily emails pretty much trying to entice me to sell you guys a bunch of stuff that you just simply don't need. I value my audience too much to try to peddle a bunch of junk to you guys just to put a few extra dollars in my pocket. That being said, I am very aware of the power of a large group of like-minded individuals. I would like to ask everyone for help. We have a viewer who is also a member of our Discord server. The guy is a 100% disabled veteran, living unfortunately paycheck to paycheck. He recently had his roof get damaged and rainwater is just destroying the inside of this guy's house. This channel gets an average of around 100,000 views per upload. You are all too kind and blessing me with your time every day. But if we could get just a few thousand people to each donate $1 to this guy, we could help him repair all of the damage to the interior of his home. The man is a husband and a father, and breathing in mold every day is not going to be good for his health or the health of his wife or daughter. He's been very blessed in that a local roofing company is actually stepping up and offering to do the repairs on the roof for him. And to my understanding, he's actually getting that done at no cost, which is amazing. But now he has a lot of drywall work that needs to be done to get the house back to a comfortable living environment, or to even make it safe to be in there breathing the air anymore. I will never ask you all for something that is not important. If you're able to spare just a single dollar, please click on the link in the description of this video and go help this man who put his life on the line for us. This is a man who has literally traded his health for our freedoms, and I will be donating myself. But if you can help, please do so. Now, I'm sure that you've all heard me talk enough already, and we haven't even watched our first clip, so let's let someone else open this thing.
Welcome to the channel, everybody.
Let's get after it.
I just had to share that. I know that we're all aware of the floods and everything that happened in Texas at this point, but I had no idea just how fast that water rose. I'd heard the reports just like everyone else. 13 feet in the first hour, 31 feet in the first 4, but seeing it is very different than reading about it. Most of those people never stood a chance. That is absolutely horrible.
Why is it that all the animals are leaving Yellowstone National Park? You and I both know Yellowstone National Park is the most seismic place in the entire world. They literally have 1,000 earthquakes a year, man. They just had 200 earthquakes in the past 2 months. So I ain't gonna ask y'all why the animals leaving. But bro, the animals know way better than, the animals vibrate on a higher level than us. We vibrate too low. Don't be asking, bro, call that why they leaving, where they going? Cause I'm finna go where the they going. Follow the leader. What part don't y'all understand? You see a group of mountain lions, a group of grizzly bears and elks, and you might as well hop in the herd. Bro, Gray, I'm going wherever they going. Earlier, I just mentioned earthquakes. Y'all know what come with earthquakes. Volcanoes. I said this in a video, a couple videos ago, bro. I was talking about the volcanoes. like that because of the earthquakes. Bro, these animals know what's going on. Boiling under there, and they know it. So stop asking, why are the animals leaving Yellowstone?
It looks like these animals are trying to warn everybody, and if we end up with a super eruption, our already critically unstable food supply is going to come to a screeching halt. Not to mention the devastation in the immediate area, which they say would be absolutely inescapable, with gas and debris reaching 750 degrees Fahrenheit, shooting out to 60 miles away faster than the speed of sound. You ain't outrunning that. If you live in this area, please, please, please think about taking a trip down south for a few weeks if you're able. This does not look good. Hey, don't forget to click like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my merch store at berry-stepp.com.
Hey, so have y'all seen this? So as above, so below, right? So it was the earth animals leaving at first, but now something is going on with the dolphins. As these researchers was out in the Pacific Ocean, they first came across this new breed of dolphin. Look at this. This thing has no dorsal fin, y'all. Look at this. Y'all see this? But amongst all that, this is what's going on, y'all. Now, the scientists are speculating over 2,000 of these things. They were in the Pacific Ocean over on the coast of Monterey, so that's California. And what I'm hearing is there was an earthquake in the waters in the Pacific Ocean. So I don't know if this is what got the dolphins acting up or not. They're calling these things the northern right whale dolphin. They're the only dolphin species that exists in the North Pacific Ocean. But now they are traveling, going down south along with these regular other dolphin folk. So y'all, are we gonna respond to the animals? Because they are responding to something. They know something is going on, as above so below, right? The elks, the mountain lions, the bears, the buffalo, and now something is going on with the dolphins, and they're finding new dolphin species amongst them as well too. Remember y'all, there is a pole reversal going on. Could this be part of this, y'all? I don't know. What y'all think?
Well, it's starting to look like running down south isn't going to do you much good either. And I don't know for sure that all of this stuff can be attributed to men playing God with the weather, but it's starting to look like all this flooding and stuff they keep doing with these cloud seeding companies is starting to throw things out of whack. Everything seems to be out of sync for some reason. I'm online every day looking for news and conspiracy type content, and the internet is flooded with this stuff right now. This is what everyone is posting about. If this isn't a sign of the end times, and we've all still got a ways to go before we cross that bridge, things look like they're about to get real interesting in terms of survival.
Imagine a robotic ball chasing you down the street, not for fun, but to shoot a net at you. Welcome to China. And this thing, it's called an RTG, and it's patrolling the streets right now in China. The RTG is a rolling spherical cop robot. It's 60 centimeters wide, 125 kilos of metal and surveillance technology. It can roll to speeds of 35 kilometers an hour, swims in water, and can take a 4-ton impact without flinching. It's armed with high-definition cameras, facial recognition, GPS tracking, and even ultrasonic sensors. If it detects suspicious behavior, it can launch a net, deploy tear gas, or even blast you with sound cannons. They're calling it the future of policing. Is this public safety or Black Mirror? And while that thing is out in the streets, out in the field, a robot wolf is coming. And these things are way more scary. They don't chase down suspects, they hunt targets. They're armed with assault rifles, they obey voice commands, and they work in packs, hence the name, wolf. Like a real wolf, except with a gun strapped to its back. They were unveiled in a military drill. These robot wolves are designed to walk, climb stairs, and coordinate attacks with drones. If this doesn't freak you out even a little bit, you're just not paying attention.
I promise this episode is not intended to cause everyone to panic. This is all just what's being talked about right now. But it looks to me like they're starting to get all this tech ready in advance for whenever this artificial superintelligence rolls out. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, I hate that stuff. This is genuinely what I think. This tech will be used against law-abiding citizens whenever they get this AI stuff installed in it and flip the switch on. I don't think they'll even worry about passing new laws for control. They'll just release a statement telling us what the new rules are, and then use this stuff to force us all to comply. We've all messed up and allowed really bad people to run the show for too long, and we're about to pay the consequences for it.
We've got some major breaking news out of Area 51. A massive fire has broken out inside the base, and we're seeing it live on camera. Late last night, allegedly July 15th, plumes of smoke were spotted rising from within the boundaries of Area 51 in Groom Lake, Nevada. Get this, there's a 24/7 live stream camera set up just outside the perimeter on private property of the back gate entrance near Rachel, Nevada, and they're currently broadcasting the blaze in real time. I'll include their links below so that you can check it out. What we do know is that there is clearly a massive fire. As you can see in the giant plume of smoke, you can also see the wind blowing if you look at the trees, which is definitely not helpful in these types of situations. What we don't know is exactly what's burning inside Area 51. We don't have information on whether any structures are directly affected at this time. Was it a military training gone bad, an accident, or was it something else? Some people have, of course, are speculating everything from Black Project labs that have blown up to alien tech. But it very well could be dry brush burning on the outside of the perimeter as well. This is crazy. Let me know. What do you think is burning in there?
I've been sitting on this one waiting for more information to come out. According to the reports, this was started by a lightning strike hitting the ground in Clark County on July 4th. That supposedly ignited a fire that covered around 8,000 or 9,000 acres. But that location was around 15 miles from Area 51. Then it spread to over 35,000 acres by mid-July. And today I saw a report that's claiming that it's now spread to 366,000 acres, which would roughly be a half of 1% of the entire acreage in all of Nevada. That's a lot. I will say though, I've already seen several short clips of what appear to be strange looking crafts rising up out of the smoke at Area 51, as if they're trying to get all of their UFO technology out of there before the whole place burns to the ground. I will keep y'all updated as new information comes out, but the big conspiracy on this is in regards to the timing. There was a report that came out on July 8th stating that Eric Burleson, a Republican who's part of the House UAP Task Force Initiative, was trying to get approval to tour the facility and actually find out what they're hiding there. And then suddenly, the whole place goes up in flames. Very suspicious timing.
So everybody needs to be aware of what's coming, what their whole plan is. You've heard me talk about this for years, about the 15-minute cities. Those things are not cities, those are prisons, and they're going to be governed by AI. Now, people ask me all the time, why do you think the elites would want to get rid of 90% of the population? Over 90% actually. Because they know they no longer need the rest of us to run this planet. With AI technology and robotics, they can run it without us. They only need 10% or less of us to produce the products and things that they need or provide services that these robots and AI can't do. So that is the objective. That's the plan for 2030. And if you doubt that, they're already testing it. They're already starting to make plans to weed out and phase out humans. Watch this video.
So Amazon workers went on strike, and Jeff Bezos said, check this out. He introduced Amazon worker robots. He said, you want more money, right? Well, it's only going to cost me $3 per robot to replace you. They're having their FAFO moment. He didn't stop there. Check this out. He said, two can play that game. Thanks for allowing me to test out my new technology, because soon I won't need you guys to work in the warehouse anymore. I'll replace you with something that doesn't take days off, that doesn't get sick, and doesn't ask for raises. So you can strike if you want, but you're being replaced. Check this out. The new technology was tested, and now, think about this. The most highest grossing company in the world has found a way to replace humans.
So right there you can see Bezos has already started. In just another year or two, they're going to be fully automated in all Amazon warehouses. All of those positions are going to be done by robots. Trucking. The trucking industry is going to be extinct. Give it 2 to 3 years, it won't exist anymore. Not by humans anyway. They've already got these self-autonomous, self-driving trucks. If you're not aware, Musk, and I know everybody thinks he's a great guy and all this, we'll see. Time reveals all. So he's already had these semis out running in the country back and forth for years now, working out the kinks. As soon as they've got that perfected, truck drivers, you're out of business. They won't need you anymore. They don't take days off. They don't have to pay them. All they've got is the upfront cost of buying the vehicles. That's it. They'll save fortunes by putting you out of work. So start thinking about those of you that are in positions and careers where AI technology or robots can perform that job or service moving forward, you better start looking for work, because it's literally like the people that produce buggy whips when they invented the cars. Those that held on too long, you're bankrupt. You're just out of work with no options. Go ahead and start planning your future now. Start transitioning into another job or another skill set while you've got the chance.
This truck driving thing was something I was just talking to my wife about the other day. That industry is going to get hit hard, and those are going to be difficult incomes for people to replace. A lot of those guys are making $80,000 to $100,000 a year or more. Now, they initially claimed that those trucks were going to be available for around $150,000 each. I'm sure that by the time they actually start rolling these things off the production floor, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than that. But even if it's twice that price, that's only 3 years' salary. And then every year after that will be clean profit. And those things don't have to stop for anything but recharging and swapping out a trailer. They don't need to stop for bathroom breaks. They don't have to stop to eat. They don't have to stop to sleep. Heck, they'll probably make all that money back in less than a year and a half just with the increase in production. I'm just saying, the writing is on the wall for that industry. It's time to transition now before the entire industry is out there looking for a new job at the same time that you are.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Ghislaine Maxwell was one of the most prolific Reddit users of all time and was a moderator of the subreddit World News, among others? Allow me to introduce you to Maxwell Hill, Reddit user. Actually, the very first Reddit user to ever get 1 million karma points. Active since 2006, okay? It actually is the 14th highest karma receiver on Reddit in the history of Reddit. This account. I should also point out that her family in Britain lives at Headington Hill Hall. Maxwell Hill, anyone? But you guys want to hear something kind of interesting? Maxwell Hill hasn't made a post in over 4 years, after posting every day, pretty much. So, right when Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested back in 2020, Maxwell Hill, the Reddit account, stopped posting. That's interesting. Let's take a look at some of the posts that Maxwell Hill made over the years, shall we? Meanwhile, in some American states, not only may you have S with a 13-year-old, you may marry the 13-year-old. Oh. Out of curiosity, do you or anyone you know in other American states, apart from New Hampshire, still entertain these laws which allow 13-year-olds to marry? What? Then there's this article. Take a look at that article. That's Maxwell Hill posted that article. I can't even read it, but yeah. And here's her griping about how it's inappropriate to approach children nowadays. In May of 2007, Madeline McCann disappeared, okay? Check this out. You can see here a large gap in Maxwell Hill's posting. And like I said, she posted every day. So that's interesting. Here's the police sketch of the suspect in the Madeline McMahon case. There's also a thread where Maxwell Hill replies to a comment in which it says, this winter doesn't start until after December 21st. Maxwell Hill said, well, my birthday's after December 21st. Ghislaine Maxwell's birthday, December 25th. That's weird. And for anyone that's going, oh, but why would she bother doing that? Take a look at what happened with 4chan. The 4chan hack revealed that most of the people posting about QAnon and other things were Mossad and CIA agents. Do you guys know who Ghislaine's dad was? I know you do. I'm going to say, it's pretty compelling. I'm going to say that is definitely her. Definitely, maybe. That'd be just crazy.
This is compelling evidence, especially that police sketch he showed next to her photo. That was a very unique looking individual in that police sketch, and to see it match up so well with Maxwell, who in my opinion is also a very unique looking individual, and the fact that she stopped posting during that time, which was out of character for that account to stop posting for any length of time, it would seem. I'll have to dig into this a little more to see how accurate the information is in that video, because there is a lot there to unpack. But if this is true, there's no telling how many high-profile abduction cases are likely tied to this woman. And that Mossad connection, all I'll say on that is, if you know, you know. Not surprising at all.
IARPA. So apparently they've been working on this for over a year. It's called Smart E-Pants. So it sounds like Smarty Pants.
Oh, wow, that's smart.
E-Pants stands for Electrically Powered and Network Textile System. But if you guys want to look it up, this technology, it's called AST, Active Smart Textile. These clothing, they figured out how to make a scrunchable conductive fabric. So they have batteries that are woven into clothes. They have capacitors, transistors all woven into clothing. And they say you cannot even tell that it's in there. It feels like a piece of clothing that you normally would wear. But what happens when they make a deal with Nike? Or they make a deal with Abercrombie Fitch, or, you want your new
Jordans.
Yeah. And it's in there, bruh. Now they want you to know. We don't have to have your phones. You just have to wear clothes. Well, you gonna walk around naked?
Well, I planned on it.
So pretty soon, I believe you guys are gonna see this out there on the market. And we already talked about it with the RAND Corporation, the Internet of Bodies. And one of the things the RAND Corporation was propagating was a smart clothing. And you already have wearable sensors with a smart watch. But nobody is thinking that their clothes is spying on them. But it is. It's coming. And as you're walking around connecting to the LoRa Amazon network, they're transmitting this information back to the government. If they wanted to convert this into CBDCs, like digital currency, you're like, well, I'm not going to have a phone. You don't need a phone. Because if your clothing is basically your wallet, you really could just walk in a store and walk out because your clothing is the wallet.
Wow. They're literally going to have every aspect of our lives under surveillance. Looks like we're all going to be intentionally wearing rags in the future. This is getting crazy, and people are going to jump on board with this new technology just like they do with everything else. Did anyone else notice some of the text and those ads he was putting on the screen? Look at this. A diaper for infants that has Bluetooth capability and informs you when your baby loads its diaper. That is next level lazy parenting. Most of the population is going to run to go buy something like this. Is it just me, or does it feel like to anyone else like the only people who are even worried about this right now are the people who are still interested in having some sort of bodily autonomy? Most people nowadays almost seem like they want to be under complete control of the government. I just don't get it. I don't understand the reasoning. Well, there can't be any. And there's no chance of anyone starting a movement to try to combat any of this stuff when most of the population is ready and willing to give themselves away to the government.
I totally get that you're busy. You've got personal things going on in your life, lots of distractions on the news given from the mainstream media. There's a lot going on. But I don't know if you realize this, but it's been over a year since the Georgia Guidestones were blown up, and nobody's talking about it anymore. And if you don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, it's a bunch of tall stone tablets where it has written on them the same exact text in a bunch of different languages. One of the wonderful things that whoever put up this monument thought to put on here was maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. If you do the math, that's like a 90% reduction in the current claimed population of the Earth. But other than just saying some weird stuff like we should kill everybody, it also had some astronomical features. One, the channel through the stone indicates the celestial pole, Polaris. Talk about that in a second. The horizontal slot indicates the annual travel of the sun. And 3, sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. Now that channel that they were talking about drilled through the rock is this hole right here. And you could have walked up to this hole at any time of the year, day or night, and this hole would be aiming at Polaris, the celestial pole. Riddle me this. How are we supposed to believe this worked if this is the movements of our solar system? The entire solar system is moving 500,000 miles an hour, 4.9 billion miles in a single year through space. We're tilted on an axis, precessing, wobbling, while we're supposed to believe we're orbiting the sun at 66,616 miles an hour on average. And all of the stars above our head are supposed to be expanding away from us from the Big Bang, doing their own individual movements. And we're supposed to believe that we're on a round rock And we could set a rock on this rock that aims at Polaris 24/7 when we're supposed to be doing this? Someone make sense of this. I know it's a lot to realize that current cosmology is off, but it's actually admitted by people like Michio Kaku, who admit that cosmology, the current cosmology, is off by 10 to 120th power. And this channel and this Guidestone right here definitively disproves the ideology which suggests that we're on a spinning magical water ball doing all of these astronomical motions around the sun and through a space vacuum that doesn't exist. This truth, it's uncomfortable. It's gonna really twist and turn your brain. But once you realize that everything is cyclical and the sky is a clock, and the Georgia Guidestones, that horizontal hole that was cut into those stones, it measured the equinoxes and solstices of the year. Why do you think that the sun makes this analemma every year? It makes this infinity shape. And we have to believe that a Mars-sized planet came and hit the Earth and caused all of this cyclicalness? Yeah, right, buddy. The Earth's flat, and we live on the inertial plane or block domain wall of the magnetic perturbation that starts at the center of the Earth. There's no South Pole. And when you look at the movements of the wandering stars or so-called planets, and then you look at a magnetic field, something might be going on. I suggest that maybe the sky moves off magnetism and not gravity. Share this video. Get it out to the people. Let's prove to everybody that God's true creation is a level topographical plane with the stars and the moon and the sun moving above us. We're not moving. Have a good one.
For some reason, I'm starting to notice an uptick in comments that all pretty much read the same thing whenever I post anything about flat Earth. It'll almost always say, "You post too much flat Earth stuff, unsubscribed." But it'll be to a T. It's clear that they're copying and pasting this comment from somewhere. Let me clear something up for those particular individuals. I'm here looking for the truth to the lies that we've been given. And I care a lot more about that than I care about tickling the bias of an individual subscriber. I appreciate each and every view that I get on these videos. That's why over 400 videos in, I still try to answer as many comments as I can. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know that this was happening. I appreciate y'all's comments. Sometimes y'all give me a new perspective on a very difficult topic that I've just simply not thought of before. There's been several times that I've had my mind changed because of a comment, but I will never stop posting about a particular topic because someone says they're going to unsubscribe if I keep putting that information in a video. It's just not going to happen. So please don't waste your time thinking that you're going to persuade me to stop looking into something that I know I'm being lied to about. If anything, you are adding fuel to the fire of my curiosity. So your comment, it's going to have the exact opposite effect. And there's one thing I'm sure of. This earth is not moving. That's a fact. It's written in scripture. And I'll believe God before I believe the word of man, which continually lies to all of us. And if they're lying about that, what choice do I have but to assume that they're lying to us about all of it? I usually try to take the high road and respond to those comments with something along the lines of, "Thanks for watching as long as you did," but I'll no longer be responding to those comments. I'm doing that here now. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I feel like this one may be a little bit shorter than usual. I could be wrong, but I just don't want to sit through another bleak video. I hope y'all enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I hope you're not ending this video feeling like you have way less hope than you did before you clicked on it. I'll be back soon with another video. I hope y'all come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out my merch store at berry-stepp.com. Also, don't forget to post a photo of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. And finally, if you're able, please click on the GoFundMe link in the description of today's video and go and donate as much as you can, but at least $1. If we could just get 3,000 people to donate $1, this guy can get his house repaired. But thank you all for hearing me out. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you all for your comments, all your love and support. I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.